to welcome every one of us on this platform. I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Ebuka, Emmanuel, Joseph, Collins, Lukman, John, Honorable John, Professor Mercy. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's also another beautiful day, and we'll just continue. I believe you can hear me. Can you hear me clearly? Yes? Okay. So while we are waiting for our speakers to arrive and they're still on their way, please, if you can change the Nokia to your name, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay. Now we need to introduce.
I can hear you well. You're welcome.
Okay. Right. Yes, you can International Academic Masterclass, mindset for transforming our loves, our relationship, friendship, marriage, and even family. And it also extends to other relationships like relationship with your spouse, relationship in your organization, relationship with your partners, relationship with your collaborators, relationship with your customers, relationship with your suppliers. It just go all along, even professional relationship. So every principles we learn on this platform, also you can use it you can apply it to any relationship. So I want to say thank you so much once again for joining us. Four factors that can limit us and stop us from fulfilling our purpose and achieve and succeed in life and be transformed are ignorance, lack of understanding, lack of vision, unknown of our identity of who we are, our purpose, and our why. The why of doing whatever we are doing is very, very important for us to know. What is the reason for what you want to achieve, or why you are doing the business you are doing, or why you want to go to school, why you want to work in that organization? So, and that is the moment of the truth. So you need to know, you need to break loose from ignorance, from lack of understanding, from lack of vision. We have to have a vision. You have to dream big. You have to have a goal, set a goals for the year, for 10 years or 5 years, or even for life. And then unknown of your identity. And that's more reason why we are here on this platform, to break free from all these four elements that can limit and stop us in fulfilling our purpose. But everything in life requires hard work, dedication, commitment, sacrifice, investment, honesty, integrity, and also gratitude. To be grateful of who you are, what you have, where you are in the present situation, and also the situation. So we want to say thank you for coming here, and also become a life learner, because learning is living. As long as we live, we keep learning so that we can improve ourselves and also feed our mindset with positive and right information. However, curiosity will keep us thirsty for more. And no matter the level of our education, no matter the level and the position and our status, we should never stop learning. And Y.Y.C.I Mama said, and I quote, "A thirst for knowledge is something that can never be quenched and should be a lifelong quest. So discover what you are capable of and keep yourself in a growth mindset and keep learning." All our dreams, our aspirations, our visions can come through if we have the courage to pursue them, said by Walt Disney. So, wisdom is the principal thing. And in all our getting, we get understanding, better understanding of life, which will lead us to better and quality performance and to fulfill our purpose in life. We only start by personal development, self-actualization, and self-love. Also, to assess ourselves, our weakness and our strength, and even the situation we find ourselves, whatever the obstacles and adversity and circumstances we find ourselves, and even the challenges, knowing that no condition is permanent. But if you set back and assess the situation you are facing right now, then find a way to find a way to solve the problem, and then continue with your journey of life. Okay, so yesterday we had a good time. We celebrated Valentine. I believe some people are still giving them flowers and cards and chocolate out there. But we have many books here that you can still give to your friends. We have The Love We Lost. How do we lose it? One of the reasons might be the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding. You understand? Ignorance. Because sometimes what you don't know, you will abuse it. If you don't know the love, you don't know the principle of love, you don't know how to apply it, you know, and you don't even know the meaning, because there are different kinds of love. So, for example, if somebody is focusing on filial, it might be agape love that he wanted to embrace or expect from others, or it might be there's something that you want to give out to others. So you need to know the differences. So this kind of book also explain to you better why some situations are arising, why the breakout, why the disappointment, why the abuse, why the violence, and also how can we solve the problem? How can we reconnect? How can we gain back our trust, our love? How can we be happy again? How can we work together? So all these are in this book of The Love We Lost. And this book and many, many more books are available, written by us, written by myself and my husband, written by YYC members. They are all available at www.amazon.com or amazon.co.uk. And also, you can email yyci.academic@gmail.com to grab your copy. So this is that one. So we are, like I said, we have various of books there, and we are giving people opportunity as well to write their own books also, or to contribute and become an international co-author. So that opportunity also is available at YYCI, and then you can contact us on yyci.academic@gmail.com for more information. And even if you want to join YYCI. Okay, I can see that our first speaker is in the house. Welcome, Professor Dr. Matthias Mutola. I can see, let me just use this time to quickly appreciate all our great leaders on the platform for joining us today, so that we can learn together, share, and also impact, apply what we've learned to impact into other people's lives. So I welcome Professor Mutola. I welcome Ibuka, Colin Oben, Professor Dr. Mercy, ma'am. Thank you for joining us today. I thought you were going to use today to rest, but thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. We appreciate your time. I'm Dr. Lonson Thompson. Thank you for joining us. Professor Peter Olugbeleye. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for joining us today. Tema Oni, thank you for joining us. Ojo Oluwato Simeri, thank you for joining us. Lukman, thank you for joining us. Emmanuel, thank you. Joseph, thank you. Colleagues, thank you. Honorable John, thank you. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's a beautiful day that the Lord has made, and we continue to rejoice and be glad in it. Please get yourself ready, and please listen with active listening, and also prepare your questions because our speaker for today is ready to answer all your questions. We have two questions in line that we want to also, we are going to be treating those two questions of yesterday today as well. Okay, so let's move on quickly to welcome our first speaker. All right. Professor Dr. TPS might be joining us or might not because he's on transit. So, but I got his message yesterday. It depends on the environment or the connection wherever he is. So, Professor Dr. Matthias Mutola, PhD from Mozambique. Did I get that right? Professor Dr. Mutio Mutola is a professional speaker, international co-author of 5 best booksellers, an ambassador for World Civility, international vice chancellor at YYCI, USA, president of the World Changers Initiative, CEO of Mamu Coaching, and is a video, add the new words, vlogger for the Dr. Manu Show program. Professor Matthias Mutola from Mozambique, profile professor, is the genius code breaker who helps professionals and entrepreneurs discover their purposes and awaken the genius in them in order for them to maximize their potential, enjoy a life of impact, and establish an indelible mark and leave a legacy for future generations. Professor Mutola is a professional speaker, like I said, and also the I think I was just repeating myself there. So let me use this opportunity to just welcome Professor Mutios Mutola from Mozambique. Our YY, I don't know if you got the letter since last year, our YYCI president of Mozambique. You are welcome, sir.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, probably good evening, depending on where you're watching us. I want to say thank you so much, Mama Lucas, for having me back into this wonderful program. I wonder if you guys can hear me well. Is
Yes, yes, we can.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Mama. Whenever I talk to Mama, I was talking to Mama thing last week, and I was saying, Mama, thank you so much for being a great inspiration. Because every time I watch Mama's program, the way she's carrying on, the work she's doing, the way she has embraced her assignment, to me is a really great challenge. I'm based in Mozambique, Africa. There are about, I think, 15 countries or so in our region, 10, 15 countries in our region. And Mozambique is the only country in the region, Southern Africa, which does not speak English. So all our neighbors on the borderlands, they all speak English. We have Swaziland, we have South Africa, we have Malawi, Zimbabwe, around our country, like borderlands. And we are the only ones speaking Portuguese. That's why so when I look at Mom, I get so inspired. And the man, I got to keep on pushing on to wherever possible. The Lord allows me to go. Excuse me. If possible, Mama, I love to share. I don't know how this is done. I love to share my presentation like PowerPoint. I don't know if I can just. This is the PowerPoint I want to be sharing. I don't know if you can connect it. I don't know how it is done. So and how I can see now I'm the co-host, but then how do I? Okay, I go to the sharing screen, right? And okay, this is it.
And then you click. Good.
Okay.
Absolutely. Wonderful skills.
Oh wow. Anyways, so this is my I see them. Okay, wonderful. I'll be talking about the needs for fathers today and tomorrow. If schedule plan did not change, I'm be sharing today and tomorrow. And today I've just been the introduction. Excuse me. I'll be speaking about the need for fathers today. And then tomorrow we continue. Yet tomorrow I'll be delving more on how can we can or someone can be a present father. Now, uh, in this, I know it's like my slides are not moving.
You need to click the button or to like.
Come again, please.
Yes. Who is the expert in the building? Because
Can you help us, please?
can we help us? Can you help Professor, please, to move the slides?
Yes, you'll be selecting it page by page. Like this is the first page, I think I saw. So you have to click on the second page, then it will be showing.
I have to click on the second page. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, way mother.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay.
So basically, this is what we'll be delving into. The speaker's profile, Mama already spoke about, then a little bit on the purpose of the class, this meeting. Then I'll go and build a little bit on the humanity's greatest cry. That's what I consider to be. And then number 4, we'll look at the characteristics of an absent father. Number 5, we look into the emotional consequences of paternal absenteeism. And number 6, we will delve into what happens when a father is present in the life and the education of his own children. And then last but not least, we will look into the power of fathers just for today. And like I said, tomorrow we will delve more into this. We will look at how can someone become a present father. Now, this is about my profile. The professor read Dr. Lucas or brought it about. Let's look at what I consider to be world cause, one of the causes or main causes of the chaos in the world today. We know there's a lot of wars, a lot of things going on in the world, and the world people that belong work for the UN and other organizations are trying to sort out and trying to resolve the issue of the chaos that's taking place in the world today. And I want to just come with a suggestion that, according to my understanding, what could be not the main reason, probably, or not the only reason, but probably one of the chief reasons behind the chaos in the world today. And this one, I got it from this scripture in the Bible, in the whole, I love reading, so I got this in the Bible. And it's a kind of a prophecy brought by Malachi. And this is what it says: He will turn the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers. Or else I will come and strike the land with a total destruction. Let's look what would be the purpose, one of the reasons for the coming of the one who will be fulfilling this prophecy. He'll have the task of turning the hearts of the fathers to their children, and also the hearts of the children to their fathers. Then he says, if this turning of hearts does not come to pass, then I will come and strike the land of the earth with total destruction. Now, this scripture makes me understand that there or believe that the root cause for most, if not all, social problems could be the absence of fathers. We're talking about drugs, alcohol, prostitution, wars, poverty, suicidal tendencies, depression, premature and unwanted pregnancies, just to mention a few. It could be that the chief reason behind all of this, and plus many other antisocial behaviors, could be the absence of fathers. And this scripture also alludes to the fact that the erosion of patriarchal authority might have led to the rise of the modern women. whereby women, those in relationships, those who are married in particular, want to take the role of their spouses. They want to become the heads of the family, plus many other tendencies that modern women today are developing. It could just be maybe because they did not have a proper father figure or a male figure, a present father or a male figure to influence them. And this goes also together with the high rise, of undisciplined children, and also, like I said before, antisocial behavior. In other words, I believe that fatherlessness could be, if not, is the most destructive trend, in our generation. Let's look at what I consider to be the greatest crime of humanity today. And I want to propose that the greatest crime of humanity today is the absence of a father or a paternal figure. And the reason why I'm saying this, let me just bring some studies, because I did some studies to find out what is science saying about this. When I happen to say that the greatest cry of mankind is the absence of a father or a paternal figure. And this is what studies are saying, right? Paternal absence causes a lot of suffering and can lead to emotional scars that can last for a long time. For example, statistics says that 71% of pregnant teenagers do not have a father. 63% of youth suicides come from fatherless homes. 85% of all children who present behavioral disorders come from fatherless homes. 8% of rapists come from fatherless homes. 85% of all youth in prisons do come from fatherless homes. And these just a few which I brought to share with us here, but the list goes up to about 15, it's not 16 studies presenting the harm of fatherlessness or of people being raised without fathers in their homes or in their lives, either biological parent, father, or a paternal or a father figure. Now, let's look at some characteristics of absent fathers. Number one, an absent father lacks, there's a lack of empathy. He has a lot of emotional connection with the children and the people in general. An absent father often maintains a superficial relationship. He does not create emotional bonds with his children. In fact, he does avoid it all, getting emotionally connected with his children. Number two, he builds or develops or hangs on what I call emotional immaturity. Normally, people who have not matured emotionally have difficulty engaging in relationships. They do not want and avoid accepting growing up. They avoid obligations and are often toxic people. Emotionally immaturity can be caused by childhood trauma. And this is what our therapists are saying. Emotional immaturity can be caused by childhood trauma. So men that did not have father figures in their lives, or these men live as if they were teenagers and are not able to express their emotions. Like we grew up, but we never are allowed, by whatever reason, or don't allow ourselves to express our emotions. So at the end of the day, there is immaturity in as far as our expression of our emotions are concerned. Number three is what I call irresponsibility. Most absent fathers made the decision, consciously or unconsciously, to escape the responsibility of raising a child. At the end of the day, they act as if the child did not exist, leaving all responsibilities to the mother or other caregivers. Number 4, we have egocentrism. Uh, Absent fathers only look at their own navel. In other words, they are only concerned with themselves. No one else matters in their lives or in their world. So the absent father makes his plans as if his children did not or do not exist. They prioritize other matters such as work, money making, social life, sports, etc. They just focus on any other thing but their own children. And then, number 5, there's what they call obsession with work. Absent fathers are so obsessed with their work. In fact, they hide themselves in their work. Many absent fathers are workaholics and may spend more than 14 hours a day just working, either at home or at their office, at their workplace. They bury themselves in their work. If they want to provide or give their children what we call better life, that's what they'll use like as an excuse. I'm working, I'm providing for you this, I'm giving you the latest iPhone, I'm paying you, you're schooling at a very expensive private school, I'm giving you this car, I'm giving you this and that. I mean, you have a nice, latest clothes and food in the house. So I'm working to provide for you. They're basically avoiding connecting with their children. So they never have time for their family. Even during holidays, they cannot disconnect and have quality time with their children. Their professional ambition is above all. They're driven by their professional ambition. And this is not just number 1, it becomes all in and by itself. So let's look at what are some of the emotional consequences of the absent father. Emotional consequences. Before we delve into that, this is what psychologists are saying. They say that adults who did not have fathers love and care usually, number 1, are more emotionally detached. Adults who did not have fathers, their fathers love and care, they're usually more emotionally detached. They are emotionally disconnected. They have difficulty establishing strong and lasting emotional bonds. Furthermore, many children of absent fathers repeat this behavior when they become fathers by themselves. And then there is also emotional insecurity. Due to emotional suffering caused by paternal absence, there are people who are most afraid of disappointment and abandonment. So they end up clinging to whoever is there, even if these people are hurting them. For example, in a relationship, it has become abusive, right? But this person will hang on because of insecurity, right? Because of their emotional suffering by the absence of the father in their upbringing. So they like hold on to whosoever is there, even if that may cause or cost my life. I'm going to hold on to this. And that's why we have one of the greatest I call pandemic today is what I think is called the emotional crime. I don't know how to say it in English, but I think it's called the emotional crime or love crime. It's whereby people kill themselves or their partner because of whatever they felt was not right in their relationship. And this used to be one of the highest crimes in countries like Brazil and also here in most part of Africa. In fact, this is a rising crime nowadays. People in relationship, when whatever is not going right, they end up killing themselves or they kill their partner, and this is because of this emotional insecurity. So the fear of abandonment can generate enormous emotional dependence in their relationship with other people. Number 3, they are more likely to have a psychological disorder. Oftentimes, the suffering caused by an absent father can have several psychological consequences, such as depression, anxiety, and anorexia, right? And then next, they are more likely to enter into toxic relationships, like I mentioned before, due to low self-esteem and lack of affection. People who have not had a father present may have problems establishing healthy relationships. I'm sure some of us have heard that in the world today, as far as love relationship is concerned, we have two kinds of guys: the so-called good boys and so-called bad boys. And statistics says that 85% of women, and I've seen women in the world, they rather date 50% of the bad boys and leave alone the good boys, right? So all this war going on is because of emotional turmoil that people go through due to absent fathers or paternal or father figures in our lives, especially in our upbringing. So due to the fear of losing someone they love again, many people are not able to cut certain harmful ties, living abusive and unhappy relationships. They just stay there. In my country, some women say, I'd rather have this guy, maybe as a fiance or as a husband, who abused me physically. I'd rather have him than having no one. You see what I mean? See, there's more fear of being alone or by myself than fearing being with this guy who abuses me physically and may even beat me to death. I'd rather die because I'm afraid of being alone. So this is chiefly caused, probably amongst other causes, is greatly due also the absence of a father in our upbringing. So another emotional consequence that people who did not have fathers or father figures in their lives, they are more prone to addictions. We're talking about the abuse or addiction to drugs, to sex, gambling, shopping, and many others, you name them. They just find a way to compensate. Like there's an emptiness in my life, so I find something to compensate, like to fill in the gap, so to speak. So that's what they do. They're into gambling. And mind you, this happens to people from all sort of social classes, amongst the rich, amongst the poor, it just happens all over in our communities, in our societies. And this has been caused by back then and emotional emptiness. Because when we come into this world, God gives us parents who, amongst other things, are in charge of filling our life tank, our emotions, right? They pay school fees, they give us foods, clothes, etc. Wonderful. But in addition to that, there's got to be an emotional connection because we are also emotional people. Our emotions are part and parcel of who we are. So they have to fill our life tank, and most parents do not do. So we grew up, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make ends meet and all that, but still there's an emptiness in me. So I avoid confronting myself, so to speak. So I delve into many activities, and most people go into what we call antisocial activities in order to fill the emptiness that their fathers might have dropped in their lives. Now, good news. What happens when a father is present in the life and education of his children? Number one, they have or develop the highest self-esteem possible. Number two, they are more emotionally secure. Number three, they are less likely to drop out of school. These are studies that are saying this. Number four, they are less involved with drugs. Number five, they develop healthier social and emotional relationships. When fathers are there, number six, people tend to become more empathetic. Number seven, they do better at school. Number eight, they have more emotional or better emotional intelligence. Number nine, there's greater probability of marrying intact and marrying someone that will make you really be happy. You guys will have a great relationship. Number 10, they are more likely to be a present and caring father and husband because his father was present. So when he becomes a father, his father was a present husband and the present father. So he brings that from the father. So when he is older tomorrow, or grown up tomorrow, and ready to will start a family, then he becomes a father or a husband. He will be a present husband. Then time comes, he becomes a father, he will be a present father. The power of fathers. Number one, fathers are destiny shooters. I don't know if this is right in English. I remember I said I'm from, we speak Portuguese in my country. So destiny shooter is like someone who's got this, you call in English, you call slingshot or something like that. You go like a pool, you got this like a V, you know, then you go like this. So you got a stone at the end of this hand, and see, you pull it back and then you release it and it goes. So this is what fathers do. They sort of pick their children. This stone becomes their children, and they begin to shoot, you know, showing direction and the destiny to their children. It is how powerful fathers are. Not that mothers can do, but there's something that probably or mainly fathers can activate in their children, especially when you're talking about boys, like male, right? Male, like male, a male child, a boy, and then a father. Mama can, the many things mama can do, but there are things like guys things, so to speak, you know, quote unquote, that fathers can activate in their boys. So, but now I'm talking about destiny, how far a son can go, how far a young man can go. Fathers play a major role in designing that and also into, slinging the sword in them, Pardon me for my English, please. Number two, parental choices and these decisions can have a generational effect. Number three, the biggest crisis men face is the lack of a fatherhood model today. Some people, sometimes it may seem very easy, but it's not really. Someone grows up without a father, and tomorrow he has to be a father. In reality, he doesn't know what it really takes to be a father. His system did not experience that. His system doesn't know that, except the general rules: pay school fees, food on the table, clothes. That's all. But mankind is not just the physical aspect. We have also the solical aspect that comprises as well of the emotion. We also the spiritual aspect, and the things in these aspects that probably fathers can best activate in their children, especially boys, that probably mamas may activate, but maybe not as deeper and as profound as males, as fathers could do. Number four, fathers produce character. Number five, children reproduce their father's behavior. Is this very important? In my country, some fathers, when they are boozing alcohol, they send their kids to go and buy for them the next bottle. You see? And then this kid is just still a child, 4 years old, 5 years old, can go into the next corner to purchase, alcohol for the father to drink. You see? And fathers, when this young man grows, the child grows, he is now a teenager. He becomes a drunkard at the age of 15. Then the father says, how can you become a drunkard at 15? You should have been at school. So the father does not or forgets that when this young man was 5 years old, he, the father, used to send him to go and buy alcohol. You see, so because fathers don't understand that children reproduce the behavior of their fathers. So fathers instill character, but also fathers instill behavior in the children. But number six, also fathers transmit language. I mean, how you speak. If you're going to speak politely or aggressively, are you going to use a proper language or vulgar language? Fathers are the ones that do influence the most that. in their children's lives and destinies. There are some people that they can't speak without speaking a vulgar language, without speaking what they call an insult, like without demeaning other people. For example, they can't just say 2 3 words without bringing it, not just a slang, but an offensive word. And sometimes they take it for granted, like we are cool, we're young people, we're teenagers and stuff. But that those kind of speaking those words, they enter in their subconscious mind and becomes part and parcel of who they end up becoming or being in life. Number 7, fathers transmit or create belief system in their family, in their children, but also do help them establish or create their philosophy of life. And then let's go to number 8. Parents teach by example, like I said. You see, everything a father does, I think it is Miles Monroe who said this. Everything a father does is a classroom for his children. Mothers do nurture and care. Fathers set standards. Number 9, fathers teach their son how to love their wife. Guys learn from their fathers how a man should treat his wife. If the father is a wife beater, there is a greater chance and possibility for this young man or child to become a wife beater tomorrow. In fact, it is proven that most wife beaters came from homes where their fathers used to beat their mothers. And it's a proven fact that most women that believe that aggression, physical aggression is love, they come from homes where their father used to beat their mothers. So when this young girl, she grows up, she's 21, 25, doesn't matter, she finds this guy wants to marry her, and they date and they get married, and this young man never hits her, what does she say? He doesn't love me. Because her reference of love is aggression, which she drank when she was a baby or a child from her father's or parents' relationship. So your love is determined by the love you have received. And your value is determined by the value placed or transferred unto you. Number 10, fathers transfer self-esteem. They transfer and they teach their children, sons, how to love themselves. A father can only love his son in the same way he was loved by his own father. This is where sometimes this saying works that says, you can't give what you do not have. You can only love as you're being loved. Number 11, fathers create or build obedience in their children, and they transmit knowledge and the life instructions. They build obedience in their children. They transmit knowledge and also transmit life instructions. Number 12, fathers set standards for friendships. One man asked this question: if you're a father and you have friends, would you allow, I think it was Miles Monroe, if I'm not mistaken, he says, would you allow, what would happen if your friends were the friends of your sons? Would you be comfortable with that? Most fathers will say, no, my friends can't play with my children. So this is important to understand. Fathers set standards for their children. And number 13, fathers, according to King Solomon, are to leave an inheritance and a legacy for their children. For your attention, thank you so much.
Wow. Amazing, amazing presentation. As an open eye, even if I'm not a father, I've learned a lot and I know how to.
Sure, Mama.
This is a very important information. Do you want to put your slides down? If you
Yeah, I want to know
okay,
is it down? I'm trying to find out. Is
okay.
it down now? Am I out?
No, no, it's still on. It's still on.
How do I do this? Can my friend come again?
Okay. Our friend, our IT friend.
Please, how do
Here,
I?
just click on the X at the edge, or
At
you
the
want to
edge.
minimize it. Yeah, there is this thing, maximize button, and then close button.
Okay, how is it now?
You haven't finished. Click it. You need to click it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we'll get there. There's a button at the left side. It's got X, it's got minus, and it's got plus. Have you seen that? It's got X, minus, and plus, like red, yellow, and green. Can you see that?
Red.
Yellow and green on the top of your slide. Okay. Ambassador Chris. Oh, great. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
That's
Thank you.
fine. That's fantastic. We've really learned a lot today, even though we have this slide. Is the slides going to be available for us? Or, I mean, if not, we will just go back to the video. Is the slides going to be available for us? Or we
Sure,
should
mom.
just,
Sure, mom.
okay, you can send it to me,
Yeah,
please.
sure. I will.
All
I
right.
will, mom.
Right. And Professor Mutola, thank you so much for this valuable informations. And guess what? We have so many men in the building. So either they are married or they're about to marry or so, and we ladies also, we are in the building. So you've delivered your speech in the right place, because all of us are learning. Even if you've been married for 20 or 50 years, we are still learning, because learning is lifelong. And I really, in fact, I was looking at it, I was listening, and I can see there are more reasons, which I don't know, that you've just enlightened me today. More reasons why there's been a lot of all kinds of behavior. Because sometimes we easily judge or condemn, not knowing the root. I was speaking to somebody recently and I said, all these things that is going on in Africa, in UK, in Europe, or even in other countries, it has to come from, I mean, if we want to solve the problem, we need to go down to the root.
That's true.
There is no point solving the problem on the surface, because the problem will still be there. Even if we try to cut the tree, have you noticed, if you cut the trees, the flowers and everything, the plant, the root will still be there. So even the tree, I mean, like here in UK, during the springtime or the winter or summertime, we have the trees have, I mean, the tree, I mean, the leaves, everything is so beautiful. It comes out colorful, the green one and others. But it comes to a stage that everything will just dry off. There will be no single leaf on the tree. And then it comes to another season again, it comes up. But then the root is there. The tree is standing on the root. So if anything happens to the tree itself, we have to find out from the root. It's just like people will say that bamboo, if you want to build the bamboo, it takes years to build. But when it now comes out, it's so beautiful. Same thing as cocoa and other things. So this kind of teaching, sir, is the root of every broken relationship, of every problems out there. It could be the problem, because I know somebody else will also come and talk to us about we ladies. You know, what are we doing what are we contributing negatively to the society? Because until we assess that, there will be no solution. It's okay to walk the walk of humanity. It's okay to be so kind. It's okay to be able to give what you have to others. But then the problem is still there. And the only way we can solve it is this kind of teaching, where we go back and assess ourselves as a man, as a woman. I mean, like I said before, we cannot change anybody, but we can change ourselves to influence others.
That's true, Mama.
Imagine this kind of teaching. All our men in the world knows about this, and they are willing to change, to adapt. You can see how beautiful it will be. Because tell me, what kind of things will be in the mindset of somebody intending to, or willingly or intending to rape another young girl? What's in their mind? Or somebody that is beating his wife to death? What's in their mind? So that is why that is why I always believe that mindset is everything. Whatever you have stored in your mindset, that will determine how you behave, how you treat yourself, and how you treat others. And this kind of topic, when you first told me, I said, yes, Prof, come. And in fact, if you want me, remember I was asking, do you want 3 days? Do you want 4 days? Do you want 5 days?
Yes.
I said, yes, because this is the root of our problems in the world. And what you don't know, you don't know. Remember, my fellow leaders on the platform, I always say that there are 4 things that we are all lacking in this world that always disturb us, limit us, stop us, and also doesn't make us to become or fulfill our purpose on earth. And the 4th thing is ignorance, if you can remember. Lack of understanding, lack of wisdom, lack of vision, and also unknown of your identity, who you are, your purpose, and why you are doing what you are doing. So I want to say thank you so much. By this time, I want questions before Prof moved on. We have enough time today. It might be the only speaker for us today. And he has really been treating on this root of all problems. So be free to ask questions today, please. So it's delivered now. Now is question time. So before I start calling, who will be the first person to ask question? Okay? Christine Uzero, you want to type it or you want to say it? You want to ask your questions? Please mute yourself. Unmute yourself. Okay, you want to type it. Okay, any other question? Dr. Ambassador Motola? Shobo Ali, thank you for joining us. If I'm calling you and I'm thanking you, that means I'm expecting questions from you all. Right, one question, sir, from Emmanuel Charles. Are there no chances of fatherless children to become good father, husband, achievers? Yes. Throw more insight, throw more light on the possibility chances. That's the first question. Did you get the question, sir?
Yes, Mom. Yes,
Okay.
Mom.
All right. So that's the first question.
Do I go ahead or wait for the others? How do
No,
you
no, no.
suggest?
Yes, go ahead with this question.
Okay.
And then while you are answering it, more questions will come.
Sure. Thank you so much, Brother Emmanuel, for this question. The question is, are there no chances of fatherless children to become good fathers, husbands, achievers? If yes, throw more light on the possibility or possible chances. The answer is yes, it's a big yes. One thing I would suggest, the number one thing I would suggest is that I believe in the existence of a creator, God, okay? And he's the number one father of all of us. And then if what my father, biological father, could not drop in my system, then I have to go into my creator, because my creator can fulfill the gaps left in my life by my biological father. But my biological father ought to be an extension, so to speak, of the creator. He's a father figure in my life, right? So whatever he missed, the creator can fulfill, can satisfy. The creator can fill in the gap, so to speak. So one way is to go back in my creator and allow the creator to fill in the gaps left by my father. That's number one. Number two, one thing I've noticed that the father, the creator always does, he sends us constantly father figures in our lives. We are people he always sends in our lives. Sometimes could be my biological father's brother, elder brother, younger brother. It could be probably my pastor, if I'm a Christian in the church, who takes the role of a father. He becomes a real father. Sometimes could be my elder brother. I'm the youngest. Then we are five in the family. The number one begins to take the responsibility of father and begins to fill in the gaps. So my assignment is to pay attention who are the father figures that God sends in our lives. For example, at the beginning, every time I come to this platform, I always thank Mama, Dr. Lucas. Whenever we talk, I hardly call her Dr. Lucas, I call her Mama, because there's something I get from her that she drops in my system, even without us ever talking, like, okay, take this, take that, you know, by watching her, what she does, she carries on with that work, assignment. I'm inspired also to hold on to my work myself. For example, I was just thinking, how can Dr. Lucas, last year I thought, like, how can she spend a whole day talking to people from all over the world? Doesn't she get tired? I mean, she's listened to 10 people speaking each for 2 hours. I mean, a whole day. Look at her. And then I was thinking last week, how can she be almost a month every day? I mean, you see what I mean? So it becomes an inspiration to me. Like, man, if she can do it, I'm younger than her, and she's doing this, I can certainly do something. So we need to keep on looking. Who are the father figures that the Creator sends that do cross our paths, and hold on to that, to them actually. Number three, we need to, like, for example, being this platform, right? We have learned. And I find that, hey, boy, yeah, my father wasn't present in my life, and I can identify myself with this and that. So I begin to look intentionally for father figures. I begin to read, I begin to study, I begin to watch videos like this, get in a program like this that do talk about paternity or fatherhood, so I can begin to drink, I begin to drink, I begin to learn. And I begin to look into myself and search, what am I lacking because my father did not fulfill? And I ask myself, what can I do in practicality to have this need fulfilled in a healthier way? Number four, I should establish visions and goals for my life and begin to go after them. Number six, spend quality time with myself. When we did not have fathers, we tend to run away from ourselves. So if I'm at home, I'm on my cell phone, my computer, I'm watching TV, I'm always busy with something. I'm never fully alone or by myself. So I have to begin to enjoy spending time with myself. I have to begin to even listen to even the uncomfortable questions or thoughts that cross my mind about my identity, and begin to ask questions. Why do I feel like this about myself? For example, let me say I am in a relationship. I'm not yet married. We are still dating. And I'm like, I shout with her, I treat this way to her, you know, Then ask myself, why do I do this? What did she do that she deserved me treating her like this? Is it just because she came late or she did this, or there's something deeper than that? So I begin to go to the root cause. Is it really her or it's me? Okay, let me say she did something wrong or she said something wrong. Did I really have to behave that way? You see, you begin to ask yourself questions. And mind you, like Dr. Lucas said, our mind is very powerful. It does have answers or gets answers to the questions we ask. Somehow, somewhere, at some point, the answers will come. Then realize, oh, I sat with my wife today. When I was 5 years old, we had long forgotten. I saw my daddy chat with the mama. Okay, so I'm just copycatting. No, now I can stop this. You see, you become intentional. You engage yourself in your transformation.
Wow.
I hope I've answered your question, sir.
I hope so. Well, let me see.
Brother Emmanuel.
Brother Emmanuel, are you
Very well,
satisfied?
sir. Very well.
Wonderful,
You did justice to the
wonderful,
question.
wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, the second question, sir. Where are you? Okay, the second question, sir. How do we handle the failure of father in taking their responsibility, especially building the low self-esteem of their children? This question is coming from Christian Uzeri.
Yes, Brother Christian. I think number one, we need to learn to forgive our fathers. One thing, if I remember, I said is we can give that which we do not have. If my father was not well founded himself and did not have a chance to be in a program like this, in a platform like this, he knows no better.
Yeah.
So he dished out only that which was dished into him. So I have to learn to forgive. There is what is called it's called in psychology, I'm forgetting the name. It's like the term. It's like you begin to ask yourself, why did father do this? And begin to enter his mind, try to understand him, right? With no judgment. What would make a man, a father, treat me as a child, 5 years old, like that? What was in his mind? What were his emotions? You see? So when you begin to ask this question, you begin to understand, oh, he knew no better. Oh, his father used to treat him like this. Oh, you see, you begin to find answers. Then you become more sympathetic and understand those your father, and the pain will begin to dissipate because you understand that though it was painful, it was not purposeful. It not done on purpose. There's this story. I don't know how true it is. This lady, she gets married, and she wants to bake for her husband. He comes from work and he said, "Hey, honey, why did you prepare this cake and this, let me say, this pot, like something small?" And yeah, there's much space in the oven, the stove, and all that. And she said, "Oh, I don't know. I got in my house, in my family. That's how they used to do." And the husband said, "But in my family, it was different." So the wife thought, okay, let me go and ask my mother. Ask Mama, why did how come you used to prepare like a bake cakes, in this at this level or dimension? She said, "I don't know. I learned from my mother." So the mother goes there and asks the mother, "Hey, mother, how come you used to prepare like cake in this size or small size, whatever?" The mama said, "Because my oven was small."
Wow.
Can you imagine 3 generations eating small cakes because even with a bigger oven, now you can't bake a bigger size cake because you see, these are things we just catch from our parents, our upbringing, without them directly teaching us. We just keep on picking, and begin to emulate automatically, you see. So yes, we need to let's forgive them.
Yes.
And then ask ourselves, what can I do to build my self-esteem? Now, let me say I'm 15 above, 20 above, I'm older now. I'm entirely responsible for my life and my destiny. What can I do now? Like, once again, to fill in the gaps left by my father and move on in my life. I don't know, Brother Christian, if I've answered your question.
Okay. Christian, are you satisfied with the question? Yes, he's smiling over there. Yes,
thank you, sir.
yes. Sir, you still have more questions. This time is from a lady, a very super woman, and great leader in the society, Dr. Ambassador Omotola Shubowale. And the question is, please, can I say marriage is a blessing or a curse? Because marriages of nowadays crumbled easily, all in the name of the husband accusing the wife that she is not submissive, and in the process turned her into a punching bag in the presence of the church. Interesting.
Yes, very interesting question. I would answer by saying, yes, marriage is still a blessing. When we look at marriage, there are two aspects to it. There is marriage as an institution. There is marriage as an experience that people have when they come together. The institution is what was established by the Creator. And when he established the institution, he said, it is very good. In every other creation, he said, good, 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 good. When it came to the institution, he said, it is very good.
Good.
Now, why does it seem to be, when it comes to the experience and practicality, it seems not to be a blessing? Part of the answer is pertains to what we're talking about today: lack of fathers, lack of an example, someone that showed me that how marriage is supposed to be. So I lack this. Yet I'm getting married. So I'm getting married, yet I'm empty, so to speak. Now, when it comes to marriage, there's the practical side of it. There's need to study, to learn. Number one, what was in the mind of the Creator when he established this institution? It's like when you go driving school, when you get there, there are principles they teach you, they show you, okay, how to step on the gears, the levels, so marriage is about the same thing. We have to have knowledge. But knowledge according to the Creator, the one that instigated the institution. And this knowledge comes in forms of principles. So we have to know the principles. Then after knowing the principles, you must be willing to practice them, to do them in order to have a successful relationship. For example, Dr. Omotola speaks about, there's a word here, a husband accusing their spouses for not being submissive. And this is true all over the world, all over Africa in particular. The reason why this happens is find that if you ask the husband, what is submission? He may not answer that question. He himself doesn't know. He knows the word submission, but may not understand what submission really entails. So he will answer you according to what he has seen, probably in the relationship of his parents. And what he experienced there may not be correct according to the definition of the Creator. So there's need to learn and unlearn, think understanding, so we may have successful relationships. For example, a husband should never hit his wife, never, no matter what. But again, you find that he is married, but the child in him, there's still pain in him, childhood pain, traumas, of which he never overcame, yet is getting into a relationship. So he can't function properly, so to speak, because he's also hurting himself. So there's a lot involved in this, but I think I'll stop here for now. I hope I need help.
Okay. Another one. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Omotola Shobowale. I hope you are satisfied with the question. Where are you? Hello? Are you still here? Or the internet has blocked you away? Okay. I have another question from this time, my mama. She was with us yesterday, one of our great leaders from Nigeria. She's Professor Dr. Mercy Oben from Nigeria. Okay. And the question is, how can a man and his wife born and brought up in a remote controlling culture with the notion that children are not to be seen nor heard in public or when visitors are around, how can they raise the modern child who is inquisitive?
Yes, Dr. Mercy. There is a scripture that says, "Thou shalt know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Sometimes we are raised into certain environment that does have its own belief systems, morals and do's and don'ts, and they are mostly of that particular culture or place where we are raised. But then there is what the Creator has instilled in us from birth. Normally, children are inquisitive. Children ask questions. In fact, that's how we were all designed to do. But cultures have taught us to suppress the inquisitor in us. We learned, I believe that the reason why we have these, yes, you can, it's because Dr. Lucas at some point had to deal with some questions that drove her to establish, yes, I can. And the yes, I can becomes the answer to the questions of other people all over the world. So as a couple, there's a need to establish that which you feel or ideally is correct on the upbringing of your children. At least your own children in their house, when they ask you questions, you should ask yourself, why are they asking this question? Do they really want to learn, want to grow, or they're just fussing around? Because do you know why oftentimes people, especially young girls, teenagers, indulge in sexual morality and their teen stages in Africa? It's because there's no freedom of speech or communication in their house. They're babies, they're growing, then their bodies go through transformation. And we can't deny that. It's biology. They have so many questions. I can't talk to mama. I can't talk to daddy. What do? They talk to their friends. They go outside. And once they go outside, you sort of lose them forever.
That's right.
Because there are questions that us people should be asking our fathers, our parents, and not friends. They will mislead us. They'll take us astray. So the questions, you can look at the questions if the culture does not allow, but at least in the house, as couples, you can start your own culture, so to speak, for the better of your kids. It's looking the future in their destinies. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I want to throw this question. Thank you. I hope you are okay with the question, ma'am. Professor Dr. Mercy Oben, are you okay with the question, with the answers, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. And
okay.
that is a great answer. But I just sent you my contribution. Or can I just say it?
Okay, yes, you can.
Yes, Prof, God bless you for your talk. We are blessed. Actually, my little contribution to what you have already answered is that the school in particular, and then the society in general make the difference. If the school can have the right kind of education and the kind of education that critical and creative thinking sweeps across the school curriculum, where the child can think for himself or herself and be able to know what is good for him in consonance with the modern life, with the context where he finds himself, with the domain where he finds himself. And the society is also mimicking good example. The child can see something worthwhile that impinge on his mindset, in his positive mindset. I think these things will help a lot to change that crude upbringing of the child from the crude background he came from. So that is my little addition.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I really appreciate that. We all appreciate your input because I know you're full of wisdom and knowledge. And
Yeah.
Professor Dr. Mercy Oben is also the preparator of a school. That is why she's talking from that end of a school in Nigeria. And she's also the founder of Critical Thinker Limited. So our passion is into critical thinking and creative thinking. So she also did her own presentation yesterday and the day for yesterday. And the video is available on Facebook at the moment. And because we've been so busy, it's not yet on YouTube, but it will be on YouTube unfailingly tonight. So thank you, ma'am, Professor Dr. Mercy Oben, for your contribution. I don't know if
Thank
you can, thank you, ma'am. I don't know if I can quickly throw these questions to you. We were running out of, because almost 5 speakers spoke yesterday and we were so carried away with Valentine. Yesterday. So there was a question yesterday that dropped yesterday and we couldn't answer it. And now that you were even talking about fathers and, I think these questions you will be able to answer it for us. Fortunately, the person is not on here, but he can listen. He was here before, but I think the internet knocked him out. But I will still mention and ask the question on his behalf. This is from Dr. Lonson Tom. And the question is, sir, in a situation where the man is a quiet type and the woman is a nagging type, and she controls everything, including detective, always seeking progress for her family members, but doesn't want any progress to her man's family, what should the man do? Interesting question.
Wow, that's a deep question. Wow. Hey, very serious one. I can tell you guys had a wonderful time yesterday. Yo, well, I think first thing, and what I would say or suggest is that I understand that a very controlling person is very secure.
Mm.
So the person is hiding his or her insecurity in her controlling behavior.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I would say. Then number two, I would suggest to the men, if possible, to begin to understand why he's in a relationship, why they're married. And then what do his responsibilities entail as a husband in the relationship, and seek for a time to talk with his wife. Because the danger is if they never conversate and change the situation, their children will suffer the most. If they're boys, they'll never know how to lead their relationship. And they're girls, they will assume that this is how a relationship is supposed to be. And tomorrow they may get involved with someone who may not be as patient as their father and may delve into aggression, physical abuse, which may take other, other direction. So as a man, it needs to begin to learn, find healthy, loving ways to assume the leadership of the relationship. If that means sitting down and talking with his wife, there's need for that to save the relationship. Then on the side of the wife, there's need to understand that the more you nag or the more she wants to assume or lead the relationship, there's a higher possibility of eventually losing their relationship. Sometimes quiet men can take for quite a long time, but at some point they may have enough. The danger is they may either walk out or they may delve or embrace aggression. So my suggestion would say, sit with her, find ways of leading the relationship, but healthy ways. I think that would help.
That will help. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you, well, the person that's just, because the internet is fluctuating several everywhere. So the person has, I don't know what happened, is knocked out. But you are coming back tomorrow because there's also 2 questions. If I delay you, I mean, it won't be nice because you've been here since 11 o'clock, unless if you want to quickly ask this 2 powerful questions you want to answer, because you never know, maybe tomorrow there will be billions of questions tomorrow. So should we clear up this one today, Professor?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
This one is from Emmanuel Charles. It's 2 questions, but I will read it because he just dropped it. I'm sure you can see the question. It's from Emmanuel Charles. The first question: in the world today, where some individuals believes relationship is all about getting and getting without then giving back, how do we handle such person? And then the second question, if we can mix it together: I don't know what to call this, but a lot of couples today, especially the women, sorry to use that emphasis, believes there should be a third party in their relationship and marriages, even when things are going wrong. What do you advise? And that will be the last question for today.
Thank you so much, Brother Charles, for these beautiful, thought-provoking questions. Let me start with the second question. I want to make sure I understand the question. By third party, you mean someone that can help when the relationship is going okay, right? Someone can assist, can guide, can advise, can bring some orientation to help the couple overcome certain challenges. That's how I understand by, third party.
Third party.
That
Yeah.
I have without sending it, that the same we should upload it. Same place where we upload it.
Yes, it actually means like the way the question is framed, a lot of people of them don't like third parties, even when things are going wrong. Like let's assume maybe the husband is suiting to look for a third party person, like a mentor, a pastor, maybe a family member who can help them resolve their differences. But maybe the wife want to say no, or maybe the wife wants it, but the husband says no. So how do we handle such?
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm now clear. The first question thing to do is sit together, ask the wife, in the person in this case, be the wife or the husband, if they're really interested in the health or committed to the health of the relationship. If the answer is yes, then we have been trying to overcome this and this challenge, and we are not making it for the benefit of our relationship are staying together. I feel we need help. We need to find someone we both can trust to assist us. It's a position where it's not like you feel like, I don't feel like, it's a need now. We need someone. Now, if prevention insists on saying no and the relationships will are crumbling, it's better for the one wanting to save relationship to go for help, but make sure before you inform your partner. We've been going through this for some time, trying our best, and it's not being overcome. We are not resolving this. So I'm going to talk to Dr. Lucas about it. I'm sure she's going to give me some light, some insight. Now, when you tell her, she will not feel like betrayed when you just go and then come and tell her after, I've been to this and that person. She may feel it or he may feel hurt. Now, after you have all tried your best and you feel there's need for help now, talk to her on the first time, wait, let her think, second time, third time, and nothing changing. Things are falling apart. Now you inform the person with love for the betterment of our relationship. I'm going to this person. I'm sure he or she will give us some light, going to help us solve the relationship. There are moments, depending on what's happening, you can wait, but there are times where it's just we need like 5 men to come in. As long as you communicate and let the person know, even if the person does not agree, you have the best of interest in mind. I assume that when you come to that point. When it comes to giving and receiving, if the partner only receives and does not give, again, communication is the key. There's need to sit down and express to the person or share with the person how you feel about me giving constantly and nothing, not receiving. And then there will be need to seek for help. Someone that can guide the relationship and help the person or the receiver understand that relationship is two-way, is a two-way traffic. It's not like one way, it's two-way traffic. Because such behaviors, they happen because of insecurity that people do have, is insecurity. And by the way they behave, they're trying to satisfy a need they may not even be aware of, some unconscious need, and which may even stem back into their childhood again. So they're trying to fill in the gap by receiving, taking, by speaking, no, nagging. In fact, I'm hiding a pain, an emotional pain, and may not know or may know but refuse to admit that I'm hurting on the inside. It's like they say that hurting people hurt people. So there's some hurt somewhere, somehow. That's why the person is behaving the way he or she is behaving. So we want to go into the root cause, and then again, we may need some help. Thank you.
Absolutely right. Thank you so much. I hope that is so clear. Emmanuel, is that clear for you?
Well,
Are you okay with
very well,
that?
ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, our Professor Mutola from Mozambique. How do you pronounce that your long country again? Mozambique.
Yes, Mozambique.
Mozambique. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. It has been amazing. And guess what? Because you were the only speaker today, so you were, I told you, be careful because many questions will just be pouring in and pouring in. We could be here forever, but I have to catch up and also travel to London for other things I'm doing. So on this note, I want to express our gratitude as you come back again to come and bless us with your wisdom, your knowledge, and your experience and your illustrations with a great presentation for us at YYCI Academy. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate you, Professor Mutola. Thank you. And we are also looking forward to tomorrow to listen to more of your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all our great leaders on the platform. and we've had a good time today. Today, we are not going to extend the time, so we need to go home and rest properly. But guess what? We need to come back. Please keep joining us at 10 o'clock. We are back to our 10 o'clock. I don't have any other meeting in the morning tomorrow. Today it was because I have to go for a meeting and I have to speak there for almost 1 hour. So that is why. But then we are back to our 10 o'clock UK time tomorrow. So please join us. Come earlier so that we can start on time and finish. We also have great speakers. Professor Mutola is coming back tomorrow to continue where he paused today. And you can agree with me that what he's sharing with us is so valuable. It's the root. I won't say much about that. So please join us tomorrow at 10 o'clock UK time. On this note, I want to say thank you. Let's start from Ambassador As Magic Joseph from Philippines. Thank you for joining us. Honorable Temileyin Samuel, you are welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us today. Ambassador Emmanuel Charles, thank you for joining us and also all your good questions. Dr. Samina Evelyn from Pakistan, thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Ambassador Joseph, thank you for joining us. Honorable Ebuka, I don't know if it is she or he, but thank you, ma'am. Or thank you, sir, for joining us
It's a
today.
he.
Okay, thank you for joining us, sir.
It's a he.
Yes, and thank you so much to Mama Professor Dr. Mercy Obey, even for also sharing your words of knowledge today by contributing to what our professor was sharing. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. I hope you are having a good rest because you've been with us with all this journey since last week. Thank you. Yesterday was stretchy. We didn't finish until 2 o'clock UK time yesterday, from 10 o'clock to UK time. That was almost 4 hours. So thank you, ma'am, for coming back to join us today. Dr. Samina, thank you so much for joining us. Also, my PA, my committed PA, my one and only one, Ambassador Lukman Nuruddin, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your time. And to all that have already joined us earlier today, but because of the connectivity, the internet probably knocked them out. I also want to appreciate them. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, I think it is be wise enough to end this program now so that we can all prepare to come back tomorrow at 10 o'clock UK time. We have a regular questions we are always asked, and that will give me the permission to end this program. And I will love both our visitors, our guests, our teacher, our lecturers to please answer uniformly so that we don't waste anybody's time. Now the questions I need to throw to all my great leaders on this platform. Can I end this program? The mindset
Yes,
for
ma'am.
transforming relationship masterclass for today, Thursday,
Yes, ma'am.
the
You can.
15th
Yes,
of
can.
February. Can I end this program now?
Yes.
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
You
Mama.
Thank you so much.
can.
God bless you. 10 o'clock, not 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock UK time tomorrow morning. Thank you and God bless you all.